I heard that the fastest way to learn anything is to teach it. But in order to teach it, you first need to understand. So if you want to learn, you need to be able to learn first. So maybe that saying is wrong. Maybe before, in order to remember or in order for you not to forget, you need to teach and not learn. Because if you think about it properly, in order for you to learn, you need to teach. But in order for you to teach it, you need to learn, unless you'll be teaching rubbish. So I think that statement or that quote or that saying is a bit invalid. It doesn't make sense. So how can we learn? Or how can you learn? What is the best or the simplest way for you to learn something? If you learn something, like if I'm studying or I'm seeing something that I like it and I want to learn how it works, what I usually do is practical. I usually practice doing the thing. If it's speaking, for example, I want to learn how to speak fluently because I know I still make big mistakes when I speak. Instead of researching about how to speak properly and doing that for years and years and years, I can just try to speak better. Full stop. I can just keep practicing, practicing, and practicing. Then give myself feedback and see where I'm making mistakes. Whenever I make a video, sometimes I don't upload some of them. I just make it in order to see the way I speak and where I usually stammer and the words I say before I stammer and how I make mistakes and where I made the mistakes so I can correct myself and learn how to speak more fluently. If the more so this is what I did just there. The more I speak with awareness and consciousness, the more likely I am to stammer. That's what I've noticed. If I'm aware that I'm making mistake when I'm speaking, or if I'm aware that or I'm looking for the mistakes I make when I speak, I'm indirectly looking or waiting for myself to stammer, and that's going to make me want to stammer or want to make mistake when I speak. But if I'm just speaking fluently without thinking of what I'm saying, but the words are just coming out loud, I am more likely to speak fluently. But the problem is I will not be able to be aware or be able to give myself feedback of the places where I make mistake. If I think before I talk, I will make a mistake. If I don't think before I talk, I just speak from whatever enters into my head and comes out from my mouth. I'm just going to go like very smooth. I'm still going to make mistake, yes, but it's going to be better than the one I'm going to be thinking about the word I speak before it comes out of my mouth. And in a case like that, the way I will be able to analyze, or the only access I have to analyze what I say is by someone telling me where I make mistake when I'm speaking to the person, or I record myself speak while analyzing it, while giving myself feedback after speaking whatever I want to say. So the best way to learn is to listen and not teach. You listen and you will try to practice. If it's something that is practicable, you practice it. I think almost everything that we can learn is practicable. If you want to learn how to, let me say, meditate, for instance, you can't just be reading all the monks and their works and to see how they do it. You have to actually try to meditate. You have to try to force your you have to try to force yourself to like just sit still and try to be aware of what you're doing. Meditation is for awareness. Meditation can still be for concentration and focus. So the more you practice on meditation, the more you practice on meditating, the easier it's going to become for you. Most of the times, if you're new to reading or you haven't read in a while, or you haven't, let me say, okay, let's do football. You haven't played football for a while, and you start playing today. When you're playing like about 5 minutes, you're gonna be agile. 10 minutes, and you're gassed out. Energy is gone. There's nothing like you're gonna feel like, bro, what happened to me? That's how what the fuck? That's how it always is. That's how it always is when it comes to football. You're gonna play for a while and get tired. Play for a little while, you get tired. Play for a little while, you get tired. But eventually, if you keep repeating that process of playing for a little while, and taking the practice and taking the actions, then you're not gonna get tired quickly again. To be like, you remember, we all know when we're in our prime versions, where we just play, get in flow state and just do the best and bring out the best in us. That prime time is gonna come and hit again. You're gonna hit that peak again because you're gonna repeatedly practice and give yourself feedback. That practice you're doing, you'll be giving yourself feedback whilst practicing, whilst you're training, while you're probably, if you want to learn how to do free kicks or take shots or dribble, you see where you're making mistake. You see the cone that you usually feel to dribble. Then that's what you focus on. These little feedbacks that you give to yourself and the practice that you do, that's going to make you, or that's going to compound to make you hit your peak version again. But if you start and you expect yourself to be at your peak, I think you're going to be lost. You're just going to disappoint yourself. Whenever I'm starting something that I haven't done in a long while, for instance, let me take an example of that. I don't just train for 6 months, for example, even though it doesn't happen, and and then I begin training again. I don't expect myself to be able to do 50 push-ups honestly. Even though I do the 50 push-ups, I don't expect myself to be able to do 50 push-ups anymore. I expect myself to go 20, 10, 10, bro. I'm gonna do 10. That's gonna be my goal. Even though I have the ability still in me to do the 50 push-ups, I'm still gonna be aiming at 10 because I know that if I try to do 50, I'm gonna fail. Or it's gonna be like 500 times harder than what it used to be. It's gonna be difficult for me to do because my body isn't used to it anymore. My body is probably used to the new activity that I'm doing. Maybe I'm training this time I'm training how to read faster. My body's gonna be used to reading, but no longer calisthenics, no longer doing something that I used to do previously that I'm a master at. That's why they say practice make perfect. And I agree with that. Ronaldo said that. What you take twisted is I said practice and feedback makes perfect. So you need to give yourself feedback whilst practicing. And if you've had or if you've given yourself the habit and the ability to work on something and you feel as if you're okay at it, okay, you can do this thing now. Let's say let's go back to fitness and said you can do handstand and you want to move from handstand and learn how to do something else in another field. Let's say it's based on speaking. You want to learn how to speak fluently and you want to start doing this tongue twister so your mouth can be so your words can be fluent when you speak or while you speak so to avoid errors and mistake. If you want to focus on it, me, I'm the person that I keep telling myself that I am a polarized person, that I like to go extreme. If I'm going to do it, is that I go deep and do it and win and do whatever I want to do, or I don't do it at all. If I'm doing going moderately on something, probably I'm not focusing on it for now. But if I just like, I really truly want something, I'm going to go like a madman and work on it till I get it. If I don't get it, it's either I get it or I get it. There's no other option for me, bro. So that's how I do it, bro. So that polarization or that full force focus that you're going to use on something, it shouldn't make you make the mistake that you're going to leave behind what you've learned before. If I say I want to learn how to read faster or how to read more effectively so I can remember, I'm not going to leave out calisthenics. Probably I might not be effective in it anymore, but I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to probably once in a while. It's going to be lesser, definitely, but once in a while, I'm still going to get time to try to just to maintain. This is where the maintenance comes in. And most people, when it comes to in the fitness world, when I ask anybody if they are what are they doing, if they're bulking, if they're cutting, or if they are maintaining their physique, whenever they are doing maintaining, it's usually some a second-hand way of saying that you're lazy, you don't feel like working out anymore because usually they're not focusing on something else. They just don't want to work on their physique, but they have to. They know they have to. So it's like a way of lying to yourself indirectly so you can not work hard enough. Because if you go hard on it, you're gonna like you're gonna feel pain, you're gonna feel tired, you're gonna feel gassed up, and they don't want that. So most of the time, when someone tells you they are maintaining, you just know that they don't want to go fully on fitness. Probably they are not doing any other thing. They don't just want to work out. It's just a lazy way of giving excuses. Is that I tell you I'm working or I'm cutting. If I say I'm maintaining my physique, that means I'm doing something else. That means I'm focusing on another topic, something outside fitness. Currently, fitness, I'm not even looking at it. I'm not maintaining. I'm still bulking up. I'm still working hard, but it's not part of my top priorities currently. It's not part of my top priorities currently, and I'm still working hard on it. So my top priority is that I said I'm a polarized person because since I said I'm a polarized person, that means I ought to take the attention I'm giving to these. I ought to take the attention away from the fitness and put it fully into what I'm focusing on so I can have maximum effectiveness in it. Is that right? Won't that make me like become better at doing whatever I'm doing? It's going to make me go faster, yes, in whatever I'm doing, whatever my top priority is going to make me achieve the goal I set for myself faster. But the problem is this: once I achieve that goal, eventually I know one day I'm going to come back to what I was doing before, which is calisthenics. And I can't forget that. I can't just leave it like that, because if I come back, I'm going to start again from level one, which will now have to require my top priority again. I'm sorry, my full focus again. And if I give it my full focus again, and I leave what my current top priority is and give calisthenics my full focus, I'm going to lose my abilities in my current top priorities. So calisthenics can increase, and it's just going to keep on being like a ping pong game where you're going to be giving attention to this and attention to this. So it's better you try to keep at it. You just do it sometimes, not just forgetting at all. Being a polarized person is, sorry, saying I am polarized, there was a mistake I used to make where I'll say I'll go all in and I'll forget everything else. Some people will give you this advice that is good. Sometimes it's very helpful because it will give you maximum effectiveness or maximum results in what you do, but it's not the ideal thing for me to do. I don't think it's the best thing for you to do in any case. It's better at least you still do it once in a while, or probably you can set a timetable for yourself that this amount of time I'm going to do it in this week, and this amount of time I'm going to do this in this week. I believe that is the like it is the best way for you, or it is best for you never to forget any skill that you have, or never to abandon any skill you have. Once in a while, test yourself and check yourself to see if you still have the ability to do what you used to do or what you were able to do. That's the best way you grow. Because these skills combined is going to that is what is going to form your uniqueness. And you can't let anyone be lost. Keep striving for greatness.